Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends. Today we are going to discuss about pseudocode. The points we will discuss in this lecture include introduction, what is pseudocode, rules for pseudocode, sequence, selection, loops or repetition, then pseudocode. First of all, what is meant by pseudocode? Introduction. Flowcharts were the first design tool to be widely used, but unfortunately, they do not reflect some of the concepts of structured programming very well. Pseudocode, on the other hand, is a newer tool and has features that make it more effective of the structured concepts. The drawback is that the narrative presentation is not as easy to understand or follow. Pseudocode consists of short English phrases used to explain specific tasks within a program's algorithm. Pseudocode is structured English that outlines the logic and structure of program code without being concerned with the exact syntax. Process descriptor. It has been proven that three basic constructs for flow of control are sufficient to implement any proper pseudocode. Sequence is a linear progression where one task is performed sequentially after another. While is a loop repetition with a simple conditional test as at its beginning. If then else is a decision means selection in which a choice is made between two alternative courses of action. Keywords should be capitalized. What is pseudocode? One of the popular representation of algorithm widely chosen because it is easy to understand, to read and write, allow the programmer to concentrate on the logic of the problem, structured in English language. Here are some rules for pseudocode. Statements are written in simple English. Write only one statement per line. Capitalize initial keyword. Indent to show hierarchy. And multiline structures. Keep statement language independent. Each instruction is written on a separate line. Keywords and indentations are used to signify particular control structures. Each set of instructions is written from top to bottom with only one entry and one exit. Groups of statements may be formed into modules and that group given a name. Rules in detail. One statement per line means each statement in pseudocode should express just one action for the computer. If the task list is properly drawn, then in most cases each task will correspond to one line of pseudocode. Task list. Read name, overworked, rate of pay, perform calculations, gross, write names, overworked and gross. And in pseudocode, read names, overworked, worked, the W is capitalized. Pay rate, gross is equals to overworked multiplied by pay, rate, R is capitalized. Write name, hours worked, and gross. Capitalize initial keyword. In the example below, note the words read and write. These are just a few of the keywords to use. Others include read, write, if, else, and if, while, and while. Here is the pseudocode read, which is capitalized, name, then hours worked, pay rate, and all this. Indent to show hierarchy. Each design structure uses a particular indentation pattern. Sequence. Keep statements in sequence, all starting in the same column. Then selection. Indent statements that fall inside selection structure but not the keywords that form the selection. Loop. Indent statements that fall inside the loop but not keywords that form the loop. and multiline structures. Read name, gross pay taxes, if, else, and if, read, else, and if. See the if, else, and if as constructed above. The end if is in line with the if. The same applies for while and end while. Sequence: a series of steps or statements that are executed in the order they are written. When we write programs, we assume that the computer executes the program starting at the beginning and working its way to the end. This is a basic assumption of all algorithm design. We call this sequence. In pseudocode, it looks like statement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and program make a cup of tea. Matlab, for example, statement 1, organize everything together, then plug in kettle, put tea bag in a cup, and all this. Then selection defines one or more courses of action depending on the evaluation of a condition. Synonyms: conditional, branching, decision. Adding a selection statement in the program. Program make a cup of tea, organize everything together, plug in kettle, put tea bag in cup, put water into kettle, wait for kettle to boil, add water to cup, remove tea bag with spoon or fork, add milk. If sugar is required, then add sugar, else do nothing. And if, serve and end. Loops means repetition. Allows one or more statement to be repeated as long as a given condition is true. Synonyms: looping or iteration. Adding an iteration statement in the program. Program to make a cup of tea, organize everything together. Okay, here are some examples. Example number 1. Ali bought a belt for rupees 90 and a shirt that cost 4 times as much as the belt. He then had rupees 100. How much money did Ali have before he bought the belt and shirt? Information available. Belt cost rupees 90. Shirt cost 4 times as much as the belt. 100 rupees left over. Information needed. Okay, starting amount, then calculations. Cost of the belt plus the cost of the shirt plus 100 rupees is the original amount. Specific solution. Start rupees is equal to belt rupees plus shirt rupees plus 100. Then start rupees, belt rupees plus 4 multiplied by belt rupees plus 100. And then start rupees is equals to 9, belt rupees, then plus 4 into 9, 4 into belt rupees plus 100, which is equals to 145. Pseudocode. Display, enter the price of the first item. Read item 1 price, then display, enter the multiplier, then read multiplier, display, enter the amount left after shopping, read amount left. This is an example number 2. Pseudocode required to input 3 numbers from the keyboard and output the result. This is example number 3. The following pseudocode describes an algorithm which will accept 2 numbers from the keyboard and calculate the sum and product, displaying the answer on the monitor screen. Here is an example number 4. Problem statement. A class of 10 students took a quiz. The grades, integers in the range 0 to 10 for this quiz are available to you. Determine the class average on the quiz, whereas class average is equals to sum of grades over total students. Main algorithm is input each of the grades, perform the averaging calculation, print the result. Solution of the problem: set total to 0, set grade counter to 1, While grade counter is less than or equal to 10, input the next grade. Add the grade into the total, add 1 to the grade counter, and while set the class average to the total divide by 10, print the class average. This is an example number 5. Read in a number and print it out. The next example is to read in a number and print it out, double the number. Example number 7. Read in a number, check if it is odd or even. Example number 8. So let's say we want to express the following algorithm to print out the bigger of two numbers. Read in two numbers, call them A and B. Is A bigger than B? Then print out A, otherwise print out B. Program print bigger of 2. Example number 9 is, so let's say we want to express the following algorithm to print out the bigger of three numbers. Read in three numbers, call them A, B and C. If A is bigger than B, then if A is also bigger than C, then print out A, otherwise print out C. If B is bigger than A, then if B is bigger than C, print out B, otherwise print out C. Example number 10. Print out the numbers from 1 to 5. Example number 11. Add up the numbers 1 to 5 and print out the result. Program print sum 1 to 5. First of all, initialize total with 0. The next example, so let's say we want to express the following algorithm. Read in a number and check if it's a prime number. What's a prime number? A number that's only divisible by itself and 1. For example, 7. Or to put it another way, every number other than itself and 1 gives a remainder. For example, for 7, if 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2 gives a remainder, then 7 is prime. So all we need to do is divide 7 by all numbers less than it, but greater than 1. And if any of them have no remainder, we know it's not a prime number. So if the number is 7, as long as 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2 gives a remainder, 7 is prime. If the number is 9, we know that 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4 all gives remainders, but 3 does not give a remainder. It goes evenly into 9, so we can say 9 is not a prime number. So remember, if the number is 7, as long as 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2 give a remainder, 7 is prime. So in general, if the number is A, as long as A minus 1, A minus 2, A minus 3, A minus 4 up to 2 give a remainder, A is prime. Program prime. Okay. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this lecture and please also share the summary of what you have learned from today's lecture in the comment box. Allah Hafiz.